I'm Jeff. I'm the creator of Skill Builder, and here I want to shed some light on the magic of the Skill Builder methodology for remote training and how it condenses months or years of learning into hours. And I want to show it in a very logical, clear way that people can understand, because I get often that people just simply don't believe it, and it's rightly so because there's a little bit of healthy skepticism is a good thing. And especially when something that seems like an outrageous claim is made, it's important to be able to justify it. So the claim I'm making here, what I'm saying is that I can turn your 6 out of 10 or lower employees, your low performers, into 7 or 8 on 10s, into good performers. And I can turn your 8 on 10 employees, your good performers, into 9 out of 10s or 10 out of 10s, which is excellent performers. And I could do this overnight. Why do people consider this such a crazy claim? Is because the difference between a 6 on 10 and an 8 on 10, if you have 100 sales reps, for example, that could be tens of millions of dollars a year. The difference between 8 on 10s and 10 on 10s can similarly be millions of dollars per year. Same with any process you might be doing, and many people don't believe it because it seems too impossible. And that's what I want to explain a little bit here. So I want to show you what's happening right now in your company. If this is the bar of success, whether it's a sale or it's performing any process in your company properly, let's say that your 10 on 10 performers are repeatedly doing successful results over and over and over again. Let's say that your 8 on 10 performers who are good performers. They're also seeing success, but they don't have as much success as your 10 on 10 performers. The road is a bit bumpier for them. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. When they do make it, it's not necessarily a straight line, so to speak, but they are achieving success. And then you have your 6 on 10s and your lesser performers, the low performers, who they're seeing some success here and there, but they regularly run into obstacles. Things regularly don't go well. And even when they are successful, it's not necessarily the most straight path. Okay. Why is this happening? For any process, there are unlimited ways to fail. There are few ways that lead to success, and the majority of people will make many mistakes in a process. Most processes are complex to do right. So if someone can internalize how to do it right and how to not do it wrong, this will lead them to success. It's pretty straightforward in that respect. So what is it that we're really doing here with Skill Builder? There are two components to proficiency in any skill. There's innate natural ability. You either have it or you don't. It cannot be learned. And there's technique. This is something that anyone can learn, anyone can get good at, and most people don't know how to learn it properly. And it's also hard to learn when inefficiently transmitted. So if you take, for example, the best athletes in the world, the ones that compete at the highest level, they are typically people who are innately, naturally good at whatever it is that they're doing. And they've also spent years, a lot of time refining their technique. The reality is that although you can't learn the innate part, you can't get naturally good at something, but because anyone can learn technique, we're focusing here on the technique and perfecting the technique of every single employee of yours. How? Basically, we distill it from your top performer. I'll go into that shortly more. Then transmit it to your other people so that they can absorb, retain, and execute. That's the idea of what we're doing on a high level. So here's really what we're doing. We're taking your expert, your top performer, who is limited on time. They're human, so they make mistakes. They go at their own pace. They could miss details and they go on tangents because, again, they're human. And we're creating a perfect product version that is organized, systematized. It covers everything. It includes info that your expert, your top performer can't necessarily show in person. And there is no time dependency. And this is a beautiful thing because once there's no time dependency, it can scale unlimitedly to as many people as needed. And then being delivered through Skill Builder, it delivers the right information in the right way at the right time. It delivers without mistakes 100% of the time. It goes at the pace of the employee. It elicits interaction where needed for proper learning, and it's proven to optimize retention and proven to maximize post-training execution as well. It's as if we've duplicated your expert, your top performer, and they're training each person one-on-one. And I have a bunch of numerous video testimonials of people in different trainings that I've worked with and created to attest to this. This gentleman over here, he's at the US Army Military Police, says it's really like a one-on-one. This is basically taking the instructor and putting them right in front of the individual. So what we end up having here is where before you have your top performer who's teaching a bunch of people, where everyone else very quickly turns into a very strong performer from there. How are we doing this? I've found that there are 4 components required for effective remote training. And this is really why everyone is struggling so much with remote training for employees. It's because it turns out that it's actually quite difficult to do, and each part on its own is very difficult, let alone getting all of them to merge together at the same time to give a proper result. So you need the expertise, which in this case, it would come from your top performer in whatever skill set it is that I'd be working with you on. You need a training methodology. So I came up with this based on 20 years of martial arts, including 14 years teaching martial arts, and really seeing that when somebody's struggling with something for more than an hour, teaching in the right way can help that person to really grasp something in 2 minutes. We're talking more than an hour and people struggling down to 2 minutes where they really clearly understand it. And I've been able to see the repeat results over and over and over again over many years. Then you need to be able to convert the expertise into that training methodology. And I've been a business analyst for 10 years. I'll go through this in a second, but basically a lot of different background skill sets all merged together to be able to do this conversion. And then you need an optimized medium for guiding the learner through the process. Now, the reality is that people don't know innately how to learn. You need to actually learn how to learn. So if you have the best content in the world with the best instructor in the world, but the people receiving it don't know, have not learned how to learn, then it's going to go in one ear and most of it's going to go out the other ear. So what Skill Builder does is I've taken all the mechanics of what I know is needed for proper learning and I built them into the platform to actually force people through the learning process, even though they don't even know that they're going through it, so that they come out the other side having actually learned and absorbed and retaining it. I designed it to work specifically with this teaching methodology. It's gone through more than 200 iterations. And there's roughly $3 million worth of intellectual property involved in creating Skill Builder. Most people teach in the exact opposite way that the human brain needs to absorb information quickly. This is one reason why people take a very long time to learn to pick up new skills. Here's a little bit about my background. So in terms of the training methodology, I've been doing martial arts 20 years and teaching it for 14 years. My professional background, the parts in green here directly contributes to the shaping and organizing of the content for easy understandability and absorption. So I have a bachelor in engineering. I've taken more than 25 software projects from idea to market, including multi-million-dollar enterprise software, typically as CTO running the development side of it. I've been doing quality assurance for 14 years. I've been a business analyst gathering business requirements and creating specifications for 10 years. I've 10 years managing quality assurance and software, 10 years project management, 10 years of business process optimization, 10 years of user experience optimization, 10 years of technical writing, been a chief technology officer and director of software development for 8 years, 8 years software engineer, 8 years database architect, and 8 years doing business process automation. So the resulting product here of what we produce ends up being your expert or top performer's expertise, which you can consider that sort of like the raw materials. And then I kind of shape everything together to put it into this kind of format. And then we put it into Skill Builder, which you can think of as the transmission tool to ensure that your employees are actually receiving it clearly, effectively, and quickly. That essentially is how we do this and how it is so effectively transmitted where they immediately understand it as soon as they get through it. And instead of spending months or years with them learning and making mistakes, they can actually pick it up almost instantly, and overnight, you're going to see a massive boost to their performance.